3-5. Luis Cordova only 19 years old.
Second serve.
Luis Cordova, known as the Fergie killer. He's never lost to Fergal Collins. He's 4-0 against him. Actually won the 19 and under WPH Junior World Championship, defeating Fergal Collins in the final there in Tucson just about a month and a half ago. I don't know if you caught that match.
Second serve.
Dave?
I did see it. He also nailed down the big ball trophy as well. Eric Hillgren returning the serve here from Mo State. This is his last year of eligibility. Took a year off last year. And there's a screen.
Had a bad back last year.
These collegiate games mean a lot to Eric Hillgren. He's been helping, refereeing, inspiring kids. Did a refs clinic yesterday. And he also serves as sort of an assistant coach to Tommy Burnett in his own little way.
He wears a lot of hats.
Court. Second serve.
There's a smart shot there from Luis. Forced Eric to guess there with that big of a setup, and he put that ball behind him.
It's the first lead for Luis Cordova, 6-5. You're watching the Intercollegiate World Handball Championships from Tempe, Arizona.
Really a great point here, Dave. Both players hitting two great shots. Eric Hillgren finishing that with a drive straight down that right wall. A very effective shot. A shot that isn't taught a whole lot, but that you can drive that ball straight back down the same wall where you're standing. Very effective.
The player is enjoying the sights and the sounds of the ASU campus and rec center.
You and I, both married men, we can't enjoy the sights all that much.
But the sounds are okay. The sounds are good.
Alan Garner, the blonde bombshell, is interested in this match, looking up the booth, trying to
get the score, wondered what was going on. He's playing in an adjacent court right now. The second show court.
Alan Garner leading in his match, 10-0. That's also a round of 8 match. Alan Garner seeded first here. The seeding's based on the WPH rankings, I presume.
You would think so, but they weren't. Because Luis Moreno actually has a higher seed.
Alan Garner actually seeded second, I stand corrected. That's a nice serve there from Big E. Unable to finish off that very routine kill. We'll see if that's a pivotal point here early in this match. Big E looked to be establishing some momentum there.
6-6.
6-6.
3 real poor shots in a row from these high-quality players. Now they're back into the ceiling rally. Neither making each other pay early in this rally. Here's the 11th shot of the rally. There's a mistake. That's a shot I see Big E use far too often. He tries to hit that straight arm left into the right corner. Ball ends up sitting up there for a big setup for his opponents. Here's a bad serve right there. And Big E with a uncharacteristic hander actually caught that ball in the bottom of his right hand. Very easy setup for him. I like that serve there, Dave.
That was a good return from Eric Hillgren, too.
That's a ball that Luis should have let come off the back wall.
That was a ball right there that looks like it tricked Eric off that glass.
Well, it actually had a little bit of reverse on it, even though Luis hit it from an overhand stroke.
I like that serve right there, Dave. Especially on this court.
That's a nice get there from Luis. Luis not hitting to the end of the ball enough on those setups. He's jamming that ball too close to his body. He's not extending on it, and when you don't extend on it, you're not going to be able to put that ball down with consistency.
6-9 is the score here. This is the first game.
Good play up there in the front court. Smart play there from Luis. That's beautiful handball there from Luis. You see Luis anticipating that ball, making the front wall. You never count a ball out. Expect the unexpected. And he was ready for it.
I really thought that Luis was going to put a little bit more of a patty cake on that ball instead of hit it so hard, but he still got the point
he got
anyway.
it in that left corner. Very effective.
10 serve 6.
I'm becoming a believer here, Dave Vincent, of Luis Cordova.
Side out.
I think Luis has a point here. His dad's saying to appeal, you actually cannot appeal a hinder call. This is one of those sort of questionable calls here. The ref made his call. I don't think you could make a case for this call going either way. I think the ref standing by his call here, probably the right play.
That's over.
Eric actually could step in and say, it's your ball. There was contact. And there is, that call was actually made.
Wow. Fortunately, I'm not playing in this match and had a call like that overturned. The sounds might get a little bit.
Point.
I guess the call was the right call.
You know, we look back, Dave, at 6-6 when Eric Hillgren had a very easy opportunity to take the lead here at 7-6, put a ball on the ground. He hasn't been back into serve yet. I mentioned that could be a pivotal point in this game, and here we've seen Luis Cordova on a 7-point run.
12 serve 6.
You see, Eric Hillgren thought that was a screen ball after that serve.
That's a big error, though, Dave, is to stop play, hoping the ref's going to call a screen. You got to play it all the way through. Tell the ref you thought it was a screen after the point.
Look at that dig right there. You know, he gets a bad rap for his left hand, Luis Cordova, but he seems to get his hand on every single one of those shots.
13 plays 6.
That was a beautiful get and a tremendous kill. That's gut-wrenching for an opponent.
I don't know how Cordova does it, but he seems to close in on every single shot. Right at the last second, he catches up to it.
Point.
Didn't stay down enough on that ball. Luis has a very
7 plays
smooth
13.
way about him. It makes it look easy, like he's not even trying. He's got a nice frame for handball, too. He's just 19 years old. He'll fill out. He'll be a really strong young man. Definitely needs to pull his shorts up a little bit, though. We're seeing a little bit more of Luis Cordova than maybe we'd like to, although the ladies may feel differently.
Side out.
That's a good point.
13 plays 7.
13 plays 7 from the University of Texas, El Paso. Luis Cordova spent most of his teen years up to this point living in just over the border in Juarez, Mexico.
7 plays 13.
St. Louis, or excuse me, Springfield, Missouri is Eric Hillgren. Going to Mo State. This is his last year of eligibility.
There's a nice shot there from Eric.
8 plays 13.
You heard the score, 8-13. Eric's not going to give up. He has a very strong will.
We anticipate a really close match here, Dave.
Second serve.
I suspect we could be seeing a tiebreaker. Both these guys with unorthodox lefts. Eric Hillgren, veteran move there, took that step right into the path of Luis Cordova. Says he's sorry. Probably was inadvertent.
8 plays 13.
I like that return right there. It's an awkward shot. You don't want to shoot in front of Luis Cordova. Here's a big setup. Nice shot there from Big E.
You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships from Tempe, Arizona, the ASU campus. 9-13 first game. Eric Hillgren in the men's open versus Luis Cordova from UTEP. Eric from Mo State. Coach Tommy Burnett. Just saw him a few minutes ago when we were upstairs, and he said he was heading down here to help coach. Be there for support.
That's a nice shot there.
Point.
I'd like to see Eric,
That's your first.
after he hits that ceiling shot straight down the left wall, move up a little bit more inside that restraining line and look for that fly kill. Luis has not proven he can send that ball back to the ceiling with his left from 40 feet.
So what you're saying is maybe lean a little bit more to the right side of the court,
Mm-hmm.
go up forward, lean to the right, and look to drive that ball or keep it up front somehow with a fly kill. You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships live on the internet at WePlayHandball.com alongside my buddy, Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent, and Jeff Kastner here as well. Of course, you're my buddy only when the headphones are on.
For those of us following our draw sheets here and also on our home computers, the winner of this match will be playing the winner of...
Oh, you're asking me a question?
It was a statement phrased in the form of a question.
You're going to make me have to look now.
I believe the winner of this match will be playing the winner of the Alan Garner match, which is taking
Actually,
place.
it'll be Luis Moreno and Anthony Celesto, who's made his himself known this weekend. Luis Moreno, if he wins, will face the winner of this one. If it's Anthony Celesto, the same holds true as they face each other in the semifinals bottom bracket.
Ten serves 13.
Alan Garner has the #1 seed here at the tournament, even though he is not ranked higher than Luis Moreno, who's also in the tournament in the world rankings.
So we've gone back and forth on who's actually the #1 seed in this event. Initially, I said it was the blonde bombshell. I was corrected, and now you're correcting yourself?
Actually, you corrected the wrong thing, but I didn't. I didn't correct you on that because I didn't want it to be a correction fest. Alan Garner seeded #1, although his world ranking is a little bit lower than Luis Moreno's. What I was trying to get at
13
before.
plays 10.
13 serves 10.
Actually, a good timeout there from Luis Cordova. Big E had run off 4 consecutive points, and immediately following the timeout, Luis Cordova gets the side out, which is what he wanted. Nice strength there to flip that ball into the 3-wall. Here's a big setup. And he finds that bottom board. Flat kill. Luis Cordova looked like he thought that ball skipped. That ball was good.
10 serves 13.
I just don't think Luis saw it. 10-13. There's a side out. Eric Hillgren serving. He says, "You know what? You're doing it to me. I'm going to do it back."
Surprised he took that ball with his right.
That's actually a nice play from Eric.
That's a good shot there. What a get. Tremendous.
This is the reason why this match is on the live webcast. It's also the reason why these fans have come out here to the gallery to watch.
I find myself a fan when I watch a point like that. 2 tremendous gets from Luis Cordova.
13-10.
We'll see if that affects him here for the next 2 or 3 rallies.
Look at that get, Dave. It's just hard to get a ball by him.
Luis Cordova is extremely competitive. He's one of those guys that...
Right out.
Well, that's the way Eric has been able to get his points, is on strange shots like that and 1-inch high kill shots. The only way he's going to beat Luis Cordova, because Luis is tracking down every single shot.
That was a flat kill between his legs from about 35 feet against the left side wall with his right hand.
You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships here. Round of 8 men with Eric Hillgren from Mo State versus Luis Cordova Jr. from UTEP, the University of Texas, El Paso. Alongside Dave Fink and Jeff Kastner, my name is Dave Vincent. We appreciate the fact that you're on the live webcast, but hope that you can also purchase your WPH membership at wphpass.com, or you can get that membership at thehandballstore.com. We give you DVDs, tip from the pros, free live webcasting of future events. We also upload all of the stuff that we do onto our server, and you can watch unlimited handball action at your convenience anytime you feel it necessary. We have over 200 hours of WPH-produced videos on the internet. Plus, you can also catch out the new online magazine. It's all part of the membership at WePlayHandball.com, and you can get one very, very easy. Just go to thehandballstore.com and make that purchase while you're sitting here between games, between timeouts, or whatever you are doing. Sometimes I get stories from people that say, I just tune out the video until the last few minutes of the match, if it's exciting, and we just listen to the audio while we're at work.
I hear a lot of people tell me I tune out the audio so I can listen to video.
I've heard that too, and I don't blame you. I'm also annoyed by my own voice.
Luis Cordova pacing around the court here. He actually is from Juarez, Mexico, but now resides in El Paso, going to school there.
Correct.
We have one of the great handball players from the state of Texas, the best in the history of El Paso, Sal Santa Anna, is here helping run this event for us. Always nice to see one of the former top players come back. He's actually undefeated against the Blonde Bombshell Lifetime. And yours truly.
2 for the price of 1.
10 serves 13.
10 serves 13. This is the first game. 2-21, tiebreaker to 11. That's Eric Hillgren serving to
Second serve.
Luis Cordova. Eric from Mo State.
I don't like that serve. That's too short. Luis did not make him pay for it. That's a nice shot there from Eric.
Point.
Nice footwork there. Got himself in a great position to drive that ball low, which he did.
11 serves 13.
You heard the score, 11-13.
I'd like to see Luis try and shoot that ball. At least put some pressure on Eric.
Point.
Gave Eric a big setup there.
12 serves 13.
12-13.
Nice shot there.
Point.
We watch these guys, Dave, both highly skilled, athletic young men. I don't see much of a purpose, though, to either of their games. Just they sort of just go in there and hit the ball, go for their shots. I don't see any kind of game plan.
Well, Eric kind of was working on a game plan the last few rallies. They all ended the same way. That seems kind of game plan-y-ish.
You see what really separates the top players from guys at this level is that ability to really think their way through a match and not just react to the ball. There's a shot that I don't really understand.
Crowd is getting everything that they paid for here.
Side out.
Smart shot there from Luis Cordova, ending that rally in the right corner. He saw Eric coming in behind him on his right. He would have picked up a shot that went straight down that right wall, but he pinched that corner and ran it away from Big E. It's been a match of a lot of
13-13.
runs, changes of momentum.
Cordova was up by 6 points at one spot there earlier.
Now you'll see here what I'm talking about, Dave. Luis Cordova hitting ceiling shots and then just standing there in place, not making any attempt to move himself back into the center of the court. That puts no pressure on your opponent when you just hit that ceiling shot in the back left corner and stand there in the back left corner. What I'd like to see him do is hit that ceiling shot and move himself back to the center of the court, put pressure on Big E, put it in Big E's mind that he needs to make another great shot to stay in the rally.
That's a good point.
I see Luis just in retrieval mode.
Side
It's
out.
not the way you're going to win matches as you
13 serves,
continue to
13.
improve and play great players. There's a great serve there from Luis. So much power on that serve, he actually compresses that ball off his hand, and that ball hits the sidewall and
14
rolls out.
serves, 13.
14 serves 13. This is the first game, and it's exactly what we all thought would happen. It's a match.
Here's a back wall setup. Let's see if he can take his time here. Caught that ball a little bit behind him. I'd like to see him drive that ball down the right.
Eric telling the referee to speak up.
14 serves, 13.
But Eric also knew that it was a screen.
Nice shot there, change of direction. Big E picked it up. There's a screen. Not called. Sloppy up there in the front.
Side out.
Big E takes the most difficult shot of that rally and ends it with a shot up around his shoulder with his right hand and somehow guided that ball into that right corner. It's a nice shot.
13 serves, 14.
13 serves 14.
That's a nice serve there from Big E. Now that's a fly kill opportunity. That's perfect. Incredible get there from Luis. Against nearly every player Big E plays, that would have been an easy point there. Great serve down the left and a fly kill down the right, but Luis was there to pick it off, and now we've got ourselves a rally. On our 27th shot of that rally, Eric Hillgren makes the error, attempting that kill in the left corner. We've actually had 14 rallies of 20 shots or more here thus far in this first game. There's a poor serve.
Here's a setup, though, Dave.
Nope. He paid the price there. Very difficult to move back, stop, and then shoot that ball off the back wall. There's very few players
13
capable
serves,
of doing
14.
that. He hit the right shot. He tried to drive that ball down the right wall, but it caught that sidewall and popped out for a very easy setup for Big E.
Score is 13-14.
That's a good shot there.
Point.
Looked like he was going straight down the left. It caught that left side wall just about 2 inches high and squirted away
14
from
serves, 14.
the Mexican sensation, Luis Cordova. Nice serve. Not the right shot there from Big E. There's a nice anticipation there. He knew exactly where Luis was going there. He put himself there and paddle killed that ball into the left corner.
That's a quick timeout call right there from Luis Cordova, and a smart one, too, after a three-point run from Eric Hillgren. Eric from Mo State, Springfield, Missouri. Luis Cordova from UTEP, University of Texas, El Paso. You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships from the campus of Arizona State University alongside Dave Fink, who went to an Arizona college, 4-year degree in communications. But yours was AU.
Actually, U of A.
Huh, close.
But how would you know that? You only live there.
You were a Wildcat for a brief 4-year stint during your past collegiate years.
It's true.
As we watch the young gentleman get back into the court here.
Like to see young Eric Hillgren vary his kill shot placement just a little bit. He's gotten into the habit of trying to kill every ball straight down that right wall, and Luis Cordova is anticipating all of them.
So if he popped it into the corner, what he does here is he serves to the left. He takes the return from Cordova and he slides it down that right wall, pending the return from Cordova, of course. Eric on another screen, not going to get it.
Eric missed a real easy shot there. He looked up at the referee because there was a little bit of contact, but certainly he wants that shot.
The referee's not going to call screens today.
Good call, though. He gave him the shot. I like that serve. Nice return there from Eric. That's too short. That's a shot there, Dave. I'd like to see him come off the back wall.
See Eric trying to motivate himself here.
15 serves 14.
15 serves 14. This is the first game.
Nice serve. I like that shot.
Point.
Smart, deep two-wall pass there. Forced the air from Luis Cordova.
16 serves 14.
16 serves 14.
Eric on a 9-1 run right now. He was actually trailing 13-6. Now leading 16-14. Here's a second serve.
Second serve.
Luis not doing nearly enough with that return. Nice. There's a good shot right there.
One of Eric's favorite places to go is right back down that right wall. Eric's now starting to take control of this match, or this
17
game.
serves 14.
17-14. You have to remember, Eric was down 7-13, and since that point, he has gone on to a 10-1 run.
This has been an incredibly physical match. A lot of retrieving, a lot of long rallies. Conditioning certainly will play a factor in this match here. Eric driving the ball down the walls very effectively. That puts a lot of pressure
18 serves 14.
on your opponent, pushing them back constantly.
18-14. There goes. Changed it like you said, Dave.
He hit the right shot, he just didn't execute it. I like that shot there, that wraparound.
Point.
That's a lucky break there for Eric. Puts him 2 points from securing this first game.
19 serves 14.
Scores 19-14.
Eric Hillgren can play that slow game very well. He's comfortable playing that ceiling game. You see that there, that's a little bit of a mistake. That's really a shot that Luis Cordova needs to avoid, is hitting that right-hand kill, front wall, side wall. That ball pops up for an easy setup. He was fortunate there that Eric missed that shot. Good shot.
13 serving 6. Side out.
It's a tough ball to shoot there. That ball coming down at a sharp angle. Went for that 38-foot kill.
Plus the glass plays tricks on your eyes. You see a shadow of the ball on the one that you're supposed to hit, and sometimes you just swing at the wrong one.
Eric playing extremely close there.
I like that shot. That's a tomahawk. Luis needs to make shots like that, believe it or not. It's sort of part of his game.
14 serves 19.
He has to stay controlled but also aggressive, which is kind of hard for players to do.
Luis just looks worn out to me right now. Just don't know if he has enough energy left to stay with Eric Hillgren. We've seen him lose 10 to 15 miles per hour on his shots. A little bit fatigued. He's just not making that extra step to the ball right now. Let's see if he can shoot this ball. Nope.
Point.
I have to remember that, not that I'm making excuses, but little Luis here drove all the way from Texas. Got in late last night, 20-14. They had to stop because of a flat tire, side of the road. Guess there was a lot of obstacles to get through last night, but that shouldn't affect his momentum today. And he looked really sharp coming into this. I mean, 13-7 was the score at one point. The referee is going to clean off a spot on the court here. You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships from Tempe, Arizona. Alongside Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. Thank you for flying in from Pittsburgh to help us with the matches, Dave, and do pro player clinics with the young adults.
I'm just trying to figure out how many ways you're going to say Tempe wrong before we're done here today. So far, that's 3.
3 different ways?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
All right.
That's
14 plays game
about
point.
my average, 14-20.
That's a good serve. Between the legs.
Never heard a referee call the score 14 serves game point before, but it's been done.
I like that shot there a lot.
But I have heard game point serves 14, and here it is right now with Eric Hillgren from Mo State serving against UTEP's Luis Cordova Jr. First game, game point to 14. Kind of a screen type serve. No call from the ref.
Eric flirts with that screen ball when he serves down the left. I like that they don't call it. I think it's a good serve.
No real offensive opportunities until right now. Let's see what Eric does with this ball.
Scrapes that ball off the left side wall nicely.
A lot of defense here, Dave.
Good ceiling shot there from Luis. And he forces the air.
14 serves 20.
14 serves 20. Luis going to a serve that you said you really didn't like, that he was leaving it short, but here's a setup.
Smart shot there.
Wow,
Beautiful shot.
That was a smart shot, but Eric almost dug that out.
You know, that was really his only option. If he tried to kill that ball, he couldn't hit it down the right with the way his body was positioned. If he killed it down the left, Eric was there. He drove that ball hard to wall. That was the right shot.
Hillgren stopping to pick up some moisture on the floor. 15-20 now is the score. That's only the second time Luis has scored in the last 25 minutes.
Here's a setup. Let's see if he can take his time here. Not a bad shot. Gets another one.
Here's the big setup. Eric's digging out every single one of those. That's 3 opportunities for Luis. He just has not located that kill shot. He had a good kill shot early on in the first part of the game, the right corner, but since then, it's been missing.
And another one. 4 really good opportunities there for Luis to end that rally, particularly the 3rd and 4th opportunities, unable to pinch those corners.
20 plays 15.
Here it is, game point once again. This is Eric's 3rd attempt at this.
That's a good serve. Eric utilizing that 2-wall pass with his left very effectively here. Should fly kill that, he doesn't. Would have been a very easy opportunity there to end this game. That's a great shot there from Luis. A textbook skinny V 2-wall pass with his right. Really stepped into that and blasted it nicely.
15-20 is the score here. You're watching these games from the campus of ASU, the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships. Men's round of 8 in the open. Eric Hillgren and Luis Cordova. Luis from UTEP, Eric from Mo State, Springfield, Missouri.
17 serves 8.
Our referee letting the play continue. I'm shocked.
18 serves 8.
Now Eric's trash talking Luis Cordova, saying,
I don't really like that because clearly he tried to stop the point. It is difficult to referee during the rally as a ref with a microphone, because sometimes that microphone isn't right up against
15 serves 20.
Yeah, that's true. Good
your
point.
mouth. So you're saying hinder, but you've got that microphone 2 or 3 feet away from you, which, you know, you want to do because you don't want the sounds from the coming into the court. Frustrating as a player, though, you can understand also not being able to hear that hinder call.
This is what happens when you're in an all-glass cube and there's just no way for those players to hear the microphone from outside.
Nice get.
That ball almost grazed Luis on the way by. Nice get, though, from Eric Hillgren.
Let's not forget that between the legs retrieve that Eric Hillgren made to keep this rally alive 15 shots ago.
I was going to say 30. Another nice get from Eric Hillgren. Back again. Eric Hillgren dives and he extends, and that ball has been retrieved from Luis. Look at that excitement from Eric Hillgren, who takes game number 1, 21-15. That was an amazing get. That was another amazing get. Eric had about 5 of those during that rally. As he steps out, taking a breath here, what is Luis Cordova going to have to do in game number 2, Dave, in order to get Eric out of that front court?
Well, Luis is getting a lot of opportunities in every rally. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities to end rallies with his right hand, which is really his bread and butter. Unable to locate those kill shots and execute them. If he can take just a little bit more time, it seems like he might be rushing those kills, not using his legs enough and not bending. If he can do what he was doing early in that first game, which was playing a little bit more relaxed, using his legs and taking his time, I think he'll have a lot more success ending rallies.
You are watching the World Intercollegiate Handball Championships live on the internet. Wplayhandball.com. There's people that are contacting us, and wanted to say hello to Mac the Knife, who was watching in Ireland. Said he's enjoying the banter and all the handball footage at Wplayhandball.com. And then he'd like to give a shout out to the NUI Galway players that are over here. Also that he wanted to ask Clifford Yip, who was standing near our webcast booth, when he was going to finish the players' websites over there in Ireland. So you can see that Clifford's obviously...
He's in demand.
He's in demand, but he's
We're
also...
on demand, and he's in demand.
Exactly. We're at the ASU campus in Tempe, Arizona. Is that better?
That was excellent.
Okay, thank you. I could call it Phoenix, but it's technically not. Watching the men's round of 8 here between Eric Hillgren from Mo State and Luis Cordova from the University of Texas, El Paso. You're watching this live feed courtesy of the World Players of Handball, Echelon, Jake Plummer Foundation, and the World Collegiate Handball Coaches Association. We want to thank all of those people who have helped provide this live webcast, those donors and sponsors that have also stepped up financially to assure that these collegiate games can get publicized through the streaming online video that we are providing here at WePlayHandball.com. If you haven't purchased your WPH membership, please do consider at WPHpass.com or thehandballstore.com. Videos, DVDs, video uploads, webcasting, tips from the pros, and so much more. Just in a simple, basic membership. You can buy it at thehandballstore.com. Get your membership. You can also purchase balls, gloves, DVDs, backpacks, eyewear, goggles, and shoes in the Handball Store web store for the World Players of Handball. Go check it out now. You'll see it's fast, it's friendly, it's easy. Register with a new account, whether or not you are already a WPH member or not. Still register with a new account when you get on to the Handball Store. It will make your shopping experience a lot easier. As we approach 2 o'clock Mountain Time, Mountain Standard Time here, we have another great match coming up right around the corner, and we'll make sure to pass that along to you here in just a few. We're going to take a quick timeout, a couple more minutes, and Eric Hillgren will face Luis Cordova for game number 2. You stick around. WePlayHandball.com. And we are back from the ASU Rec Center and Student Complex here at the Arizona State University campus. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Dave Fink for the World Intercollegiate Handball Championships. Eric Hillgren, Mo State versus Luis Cordova from the University of Texas, El Paso. I want to say hello to Robert Fox, Tom Sheridan, the lefty from Ireland, Evan Sheridan as well, watching the live webcast thanks to the Sponsor a Junior program.
Any fatigue either of these players may have had during or after that first game should have subsided by now with our 10-plus minute break here between games. It'll be like starting a new match when we get back in there. And it doesn't seem like we're all that close to getting back in there now. Luis Cordova doesn't even have his gloves on yet, so this should be about a 14-minute break here.
A little lackadaisical in the reffing duties, I've noticed. This is an extended in-between games 5-minute timeout that is now approaching the 8-minute mark in reality. Alan Garner did win his match earlier today. We saw him on that second court, Alan Garner defeating David Walsh. We have Scotty Moeller versus Nikki Anthony. I believe that one is going on right now in court number 3. So the winner of the Moeller-Anthony match will play Alan Garner tomorrow at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. Here, though, Eric Hillgren has just now officially taken off his shirt and is working on putting his gloves on.
Don't get too excited, ladies. He does have an undershirt on.
We're watching a...
This is not the only World Championship event being held in the state of Arizona today.
Golf?
Actually, yes. They're playing the World Golf Championship match play just down the road, close to Tucson.
Where are they holding it? Where are they holding it?
That's actually at a new course in Morena.
Yes. You're right, that is close to Tucson, Arizona. And they probably flew into the Tucson airport.
I would think so.
Here, though, we're at the ASU campus. Eric Hillgren just now getting his gloves on. His eye guards are already on the floor waiting for him. Game number 2 after winning the first one 21-15 versus Luis Cordova, who's acting like he has the first serve here.
We may be seeing one or both of these players at the next WPH Pro Stop. That'll be in Tucson, Arizona, March 30th. We'll kick that off. That's going to be a 4-wall and 1-wall pro event combined, the first of its kind. That event being called the Fireball because we'll be playing with the brand new Echelon Red handball.
All right, 0 serve 0.
There's already been a lot of talk and excitement about that debut of the red handball. Eric Hillgren starts off with an air there.
1 play 0.
1 serves 0 here.
There's
Point.
consecutive errors, and that can happen, Dave, when you take an extended break like that, a 10, 12-minute break between games. You come in a little bit cold. Eric Hillgren's made 2 relatively easy errors here early in this first game, and
Point.
for some reason stopped. Didn't go for that ball there.
You have to recall at the end of that first game, there was a lot of emotion that Eric had. Sometimes it's hard to match that emotion when you come back in.
That's very true. That's why the best athletes you'll see are very steady throughout an entire match in a tournament. It's hard to go up and down emotionally during a match.
That's a good shot right there from Eric Hillgren, though.
They've actually done studies on that, and by they, I mean me. All the great athletes, with the exception of perhaps John McEnroe, have been very steady with their emotions. You look at Pete Sampras and Roger Federer.
I'm not surprised you're using tennis as your first reference point.
Well, I had other sports that I was going to go to.
Like golf?
Actually, I was going to mention Joe Montana and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Okay. I figured it was going to be golf and tanning were your next two.
Well, you certainly need a very even disposition to be a good tanner. Cannot get too up and down when you're out there in that poolside.
Point. 2 serves 3.
That's a good point. 2 serves 3. Game 2, Eric Hillgren won the first one, 21-15 versus Luis Cordova. I said this earlier, and I'm going to repeat it. This is a lot like what you would see in the WPH qualifier Fireball Classic tournament that will be held March 31st. The qualifier is a one-day Wednesday tournament. And I could see these guys being in a final of one of those qualifiers.
Point.
There's going to be 4 qualifiers. That's 4 separate brackets, assuming there's at least 16 players or less in that
3
qualifier.
serves 3.
3 serves 3. So this is the talent that you're going to have to get past in order to qualify to be part of that Fireball Classic Pro Stop.
Point.
Unfortunately, one of our best young players, Armando Ortiz, just experiencing a little bit of health problems, so he probably won't be able to play in that event in just about 6 weeks. But we wish him a very quick recovery. He's one of the great assets to our game, one of the great rising stars. Certainly we'll see his partner in crime, Chip the Baby Morales. I would expect to see him playing in that qualifier. As well as potentially Luis's brother Daniel, also a up-and-coming player, just 15 years of age.
3 serves 4.
3 serves 4. That's a good serve.
Great serve there. You know, he actually took a little bit off that ball. Therefore, that ball bounced twice before it got to the back wall.
4 serves 4.
Got him the easy point. Great strength there from Luis Cordova to flip that ball to the ceiling, off balance. And there's the shot he wasn't able to execute there in the middle towards the end of that first game. He wasn't able to catch those cracks up there in the right corner.
Well, it seems like he's not hitting the ball as hard right now. 5-4, a little bit more in control, Dave.
That's something that comes with experience. As a young player, you always feel you want to over-hit the ball, over-swing.
6 serves 4.
You find that you'll be a lot more effective when you take just a little bit off of the shot.
I like that shot right there, too. 6-4. What is that from Eric Hillgren? That was a great get.
Tremendous get. That wasn't even really showtime. That was necessary to hit that ball between his legs there.
He had to jump over it.
7 serves 4.
If Luis scores here, Eric will take a timeout.
Side out.
Luis did not read that hop properly. He should have let that ball bounce into the sidewall and come off the sidewall. Instead, he tried to
7.
catch that ball before it made the sidewall.
4-7 is the score.
A lot of folks here, Dave, including myself, predicted a tiebreaker here. We could be on pace for a tiebreaker, but let's not forget Luis led substantially in that first game, 13-6, and ended up losing at 21-15. So no guarantee with a lead here in the second. I don't like that shot there. That's a shot that takes so much strength to hit with your offhand into that same corner. That ball will hang up most of the time, just like we saw it there. You've got to pinch that ball with a lot of pace on it. Otherwise, it'll sit up and give your opponent a very easy opportunity, which Big E took care of.
Do you suggest just powering that ball down the left wall?
That's also a difficult shot to control with your offhand if you're not a really strong player using your legs. There's a big mistake.
Point.
I would suggest either taking that ball back to the ceiling or hitting a
6 serves
hard
7.
two-wall pass, front wall, right sidewall with the left there.
What about doing a little higher left-handed wrap with that from that position, going up about 15 feet?
Well, you know, he was in front of the short line there. I don't know
Side out.
a wrap might have given Eric a little bit too much time. He could have stepped in and taken that ball out of the air. I would like to see him just in that position drive his opponent back. Even if it is back down the right, at least he's driving him back and maintaining control of the front court, which is important there.
See, Eric has a equipment failure here, looking for somebody that'll tie his shoe. The referee will do it for you, Eric.
That's what he's there for. It's one of his many duties as a referee.
I see how Eric tried to attempt to tie his shoes there. He uses the rabbit ear approach. Grab one rabbit ear and the other one, and then you crisscross applesauce, and you pull the
I didn't
left
know
leg
about the
through.
applesauce.
Yeah, then you pull the left leg through. That's an old style way of tying your shoes. Kind of surprised to see a young guy use that.
That's a nice shot there.
Side out.
You know, we talk about this at the clinics a lot, Dave. The serve is the only time you're not reacting to the ball, so you really need to put a lot of thought into it. The last thing you want to do is give your opponent a setup off the back wall with his right hand. And that's exactly what Luis Cordova has done a number of times here in this match. He served that ball down the right, had that ball come around either straight off the back wall or right sidewall back wall, and given Eric Hillgren a very easy setup.
7-7. Second game, Eric wins the first one, 21-15.
I like this serve a lot. Very simple. Forces Luis to hit that ball from the deep court with his left hand. I like that shot there from Eric Hillgren. Take that ball out of the air, and he does. Didn't get that ball down the wall, though. It's a nice get.
Contact.
Both these players wearing green.
7-7.
The server is Eric Hillgren from Missouri State University, formerly Southwest Missouri State. They've since changed their name. We could certainly get a background on that if you were interested. Don't think many people would be.
Side out.
They might be both wearing green, but their hairstyles are completely different.
7-7.
7-7.
That's a nice serve there.
Wasn't
and he
good.
went for the Paul Brady fist pump. You see that?
Down.
You know Paul Brady only fist pumps when it is short.
Okay. 2 serves.
What?
That's not the right call.
Who's the line judge on the left side? You?
That should have either been an ace or a second serve. Great pickup. Has to be careful there, Luis. He actually popped up there when that ball came right across his body. Could have been called an avoidable. Wasn't. I think that was the right call. Eric still had a play in that ball. Just couldn't close on it quickly enough.
We have to find out who the line judges are.
8-7.
Get at least one of them fired.
Nice little hop there. Eric missed playing that ball. Tried to pick up that hop
9-7.
in the middle of its break. You either want to pick that ball up off the short hop before it can hop, or let it hop and then play it after it's hopped. You don't want to try and play that ball when it's just hopped. I like the idea there from Luis to shoot that ball from the deep court with his right, but he set up too soon for it. He gave it away what he was doing. You want to make it look like you're going to the ceiling, then at the last second, let that ball drop. Use that element of disguise, and that shot's a lot more effective. I see that a lot with both of these guys. Setting themselves up to hit the ball too soon, they become very predictable. That's where I'd like to see Eric Hillgren move up here and look for the fly kill. That's a nice shot there.
Point. Eight serves 9.
8-9 is the score.
Nice anticipation there from Eric. A little bit too hard.
That was a nice shot right there from Luis Cordova, who doesn't normally shoot with his left hand, but he did that time. A diving Eric Hillgren could not reach it. You're watching game number 2 of the World Intercollegiate 4-Wall Handball Championships in the men's round of 8. Luis Cordova from UTEP, 9 versus 8 from Eric Hillgren from Mo State, Springfield, Missouri.
Nice get. Beautiful.
Hold it.
Good call there. Eric needs to take a little bit off that kill with his right hand there. That ball bounced, came up off the left side wall. I don't like that serve at all.
I like that serve. You might not like it, but I do.
I'm not sure I understand it. He's serving into Eric's strong hand.
He's trying to, you don't understand how hard it is to hit this ball. I mean, maybe you do because you went in there and practiced a little bit, but for those watching at home, that back glass and the side glass in the back corner is very, very dark. You see 3 or 4 shadows of this ball. I think that's what Luis is trying to exploit. I can see 3 or 4 shadows right there on when that ball's bouncing.
Side out.
From back here.
Interesting.
9 serves 8.
Hadn't thought about that. However, if you are going to play on a glass sidewall, glass back wall court, this is one of the best you can play on. This has the white dots that are inside the walls, which virtually eliminate any glare, in my opinion. I don't like that serve either. It gives Eric a chance to just set up and blast it with his right hand. That's the last thing you want your opponent doing on the return of serve. You want to put your opponent in a defensive position, something that's going to give you some sort of setup and an opportunity to dictate the rally. You're certainly not giving yourself that opportunity, giving your opponent a right-hand back wall shot. Now you see Eric is in control of this rally. I'd like to see him up there more so in the front court. Right again here. There's another fly kill opportunity. There's the tweener. Nice shot there.
Side out.
Didn't commit to that shot too early. Looked like he could be hitting that ball down the left. He actually, at the last second, snapped that ball straight down the right wall. I like that shot there. Nice 2-wall pass. Incredible get there from Luis.
Here's a big setup for Eric. Goes to that corner. He doesn't get it.
Luis passed up a very easy re-kill opportunity there.
Contact not called.
Now you'll notice with both these guys, Dave, they keep their, just barely misses that. Both guys keep their non-hitting shoulder down by their side while they're swinging. I'd like to see both of them get that elbow up a la Paul Brady and pull that elbow towards their target of their off-hitting hand, create a lot more torque and shoulder rotation. Let's see if we can get a look at that here. You see how that right hand of Luis Cordova just stays, his left hand stays right down by his side while he's swinging. Really want to think about spreading out. Nice shot there. Like to see Luis take a little bit off of his shots. We talked about this before, Dave. A fastball pitcher can't just throw fastballs on every pitch.
That ball looked like it was short to me. You're right about that. You might see Eric appeal that.
Timeout.
Not going to get the appeal, though. Let's listen to the score here.
I'd like to ask the ref what happened there on that ball that was appealed and he awarded 2 serves. Should have either been an ace or it should have been a second serve because the serve cracked out. It was an unreturnable serve. In that instance, it's not a replay. If the ball cracks out, it's a point or it's short.
That's a good point.
So I'm not.
And that's exactly what Dave Fink is going to do, which is not, unlike Dave Fink normally, is to say that he'd like to ask the referee. He's actually going to ask the referee. You're watching the World Intercollegiate Handball Championships live from Tempe, Arizona, the ASU campus, alongside Dave Fink, who's now barking at the referee. My name is Dave Vincent. In the operating booth, it's Jeff Kastner. We're at the ASU campus here where it's nice and sunny. We had temperatures in the 80s yesterday, and the kids from out of state and out of the country are absolutely enjoying it. I want to thank all the sponsors for helping out. What did the referee say about that call, Dave?
The referee actually was very happy to learn that rule, which was that should have been called a point when that ball cracks out. He didn't know the rule. He does now. Very nice young man. Told him he was doing excellent job here, which I think he is.
That's Kara Arsenault's brother, Will Arsenault. Father Will Arsenault's son from Daytona Beach, Florida. Now you know.
11 serves 8.
I was going to go there for spring break, but I didn't.
It's kind of hard to when you live in Arizona in college. Oh, you meant spring break when you're out of college? Or oh, I'm sorry. Okay. You still celebrate that, don't you?
It's a big part of my year.
Just after Yom Kippur.
It's actually after Passover.
This is game number 2. Luis Cordova lost the first one, 21-15. Ooh. Where's Jesse Aranda? He'd be asking for an avoidable on that.
Doesn't quite know the rules of the game. Plays it anyway.
11 serves 8.
11 serves 8.
Court. Second serve.
I don't like that shot at all. Or that.
Side out.
Sloppy point there.
I think both of these guys are quite winded. This has been a very long match as of this date. Listen for the score.
8 serves 11.
Big E has a big advantage here, knowing 13 points and he wins this match. Luis Cordova knows he's got to really dig in here, not only close out this game somehow, but also find a way to score 11 more in the tiebreaker. Nice shot there from Big E. I'm surprised we haven't seen him use that shot more here in this match. He took a lot off that fly kill with his right hand and
9 serves 11.
almost dumped it straight down that left side wall. We've seen Eric Hillgren make 4 or 5 mistakes like that up in front of that foot fault line. Very surprising.
11 serves 9.
11 serves 9.
It's a nice shot there.
Let's see.
Side out.
The decision making of both these players a little bit questionable right now, taking the wrong shots. That ball should have been taken before it got to the back wall.
9
Luis
serves
Cordova
11.
letting it get to the back wall and unable to play it from that point. That's a nice serve there, beautiful. That's the right idea there. I'd like to see Eric Hillgren develop a left-hand fly kill. Give yourself a lot more options when you take that ball out of the air with your left. You can drive that ball straight down the left or down the right or a pass. When you hit it with your right, you only have that left corner. There you go. A little bit of contact there. We'll see if the ref calls it. He clearly saw him trip on Eric there.
Side out.
Luis Cordova does not complain
9
about any
serves
call.
11.
There's certainly contact right there that was not called.
There's another ball I'd like to see Eric take with his left. Give himself a lot more options. Off balance. This should be a pretty easy kill here.
Side out.
You know, Eric has a tendency to just move as he's hitting. He doesn't stay still through contact, and you'll see him make a lot of errors as a result.
11 serves 9.
11 serves 9, second game.
Once you set your feet for that setup, you really want to stay as still as you can with your head and your feet.
Wow.
Side out.
Well, really, that was a result of Luis hitting that right corner when he should have driven that ball straight down the right wall.
Actually, I thought he
11.
should have hit it ball dead center and let it hop back to the left with that natural hook that he has, but he decided to go around.
I don't like that corner kill with your opponent up in the front court with you, particularly when your opponent is in the center of the court.
And Eric does play up front. He doesn't dwindle in the back court.
See now right there,
Point.
Eric executing a perfect bottom board kill, but Luis didn't put any pressure on him. He hung behind Eric on that back wall shot. I'd like to see him move up right on Eric's hip there.
What you cannot see with the cameras is on the right side glass here, there are a ton of students gathering to watch. Kind of forget that they're over there, and then down in the galleries, it's packed up and low. Watching this one.
That's the right idea there from Eric.
Alan Garner and Luis Moreno, who won their respective matches at the same time. They all got on the court at the very same time. All their matches are over with. They're over here watching this round of 8 action as well.
You actually want that Z serve to run parallel to the back wall. You see these guys' Z serves up there right around the restraining line, which is about 15 feet short of where it should be popping off that side wall.
13 serves 10.
13 to 10.
You see it again. That's a little bit better, deeper. Luis Cordova, Dave, actually plays a lot of 2-wall handball in Mexico. I think you've played that game when you've been down there. I'm not that familiar with it, but I think it probably favors an aggressive style of game. I'm not sure if there's a line on the front wall that you can't hit below, but
that's right, and I actually think it favors the other way, where it's not as aggressive.
Okay.
It's actually played back further, about the 40-foot mark.
Okay.
So you're not very aggressive back there, but it does require the player to have sort of that roundhouse left hand, where you use the palm of your hand, and you don't use that traditional overhand stroke that you would. So that's the reason why you see Luis with those kind of strange-looking left hand, but very effective shots. He is getting that from that pelota game that they play in Mexico.
So the sidewall's on the left wall?
On the left wall,
okay.
Yeah. So he's using a roundhouse left hand, which is more of like a big ball shot, but it comes from his hip, and he uses it really high for an overhand shot.
And is there a line on the front wall?
Yeah, it's a 3 foot. It's 36 inches off the ground.
Like a tennis net almost.
Yeah, it would be
height.
a tell line is what they call it, and it's just like squash, so to speak. But yeah, like a tennis.
And what kind of ball do they play with?
It would be a tennis ball with the fuzzy off, so the inner core of the tennis ball, and then sometimes if the ball starts getting dead, they syringe it with air to bring it back up a little bit more solid again. And it's actually a fun ball to play with. They
don't play that ball with the racquetball?
No, they play with it. It's between the racquetball and handball size. It's the inner core of a tennis ball. And it actually feels good on the hands. It doesn't hurt, but the ball carries. Those courts can be as long as 90 feet long.
We actually played on a court like that on one of our stops on the bike tour.
Very similar. That was the court, actually, that pelota court that we played on there in Elko, Nevada.
For those of you who want to see pictures of that, they can log on to the tourdetundra.blogspot.com.
You can find that court since you're on the internet if you want to.
And you might as well just go ahead and make that one of your favorites while you're at it.
Well, I know you have. Alan Garner defeated David Walsh in the upper bracket round of 8 earlier. In fact, his match went on at the same time this one did. That one over pretty quick, 4-9. Luis Moreno getting by Anthony Celesto by the score of 11-11. Luis Moreno, the number 2 seed. He is also in the stands watching this round of 8 action between Eric Hillgren and Luis Cordova.
There was just some discussion there for about 30 seconds. I'm not sure what these guys were saying,
15 serves 10.
I thought maybe they didn't know who served that last point, but I don't really think that was it.
Check the ball.
15-10 is the score here.
I don't like the way he's executing this Z serve, but he's certainly getting a lot of mistakes, easy points, and setups from this Z serve. I'd like to see him stick with it. There's a beautiful serve down the right. You see, Dave, he put a little bit of natural on that ball, ran that ball straight down the sidewall, and took enough off of it so it didn't come off the back wall.
Actually, I was very impressed with his height off the front wall.
16 serves 10.
If you're going to do all the things that you mentioned, you have to keep that ball low off the front wall. Too high, and it's a big setup, and now he's getting some free points off of Eric Hillgren.
The timeouts really seem to have an adverse effect on Eric Hillgren. Eric Hillgren likes to build on his momentum. Each time he's come out of the timeout, Eric Hillgren's lost the point. You know, we talked about Eric being an emotional player, and that's detrimental to his style of play, those breaks in the action. We saw him come out extremely cold there in the beginning of this second game, losing the first 3 points rather quickly. Just lost 2 points after that timeout.
Don't know what's going on here. Sal Santa Ana talking to Cordova.
Maybe we can get Sal to come
10
up here and
serve 17.
sort of explain what Luis is asking for here. I'm not really sure. That was actually going to be an excellent shot right there. He let that ball drop beautifully. That ball was just angling right at that corner. That was going to be a flat rollout. Luis Moreno looking up here at the booth. He knew
10
it.
serve 17.
10 serve 17. You have to remember, Eric was down 13-7 in that first game and came back and outscored Luis Cordova by 14-2 margin. So he can go on these long runs. 17-10.
That's another nice serve, but it popped out. Eric Hillgren just it looked like he wasn't sure of himself with that swing, and he caught that ball in the bottom of his hand.
18 serves 10.
I think what Sal Santa Ana did is he walked over and gave him some advice about serving that ball down the right wall, saying stick to that serve.
I'm not sure that's why Sal's here. I feel like there might be some kind of disagreement about the referee or the court or something along those lines, that Sal is sort of the tournament director right now, so I feel like he was called over here for, I'm just speculating here, but perhaps Luis thinks that
10 serves 18.
That's funny.
Point.
They're kind of, you know, like in World Cup soccer when they had the handball issue. Well, that's kind of
that was great publicity for our sport.
It was, although they spelled it wrong. But that's kind of what the question was from the Cordova camp, was knowing that the referee called the wrong play there when they said that it was take two when he should have said that it was a point. They were asking for that point.
It's too late in the game for that.
11 serves 18.
11 serves 18. That's why they called Sal Santa Ana over and said,
nice shot there.
Side out.
I don't think it really matters at this point.
Oh, I think it very well could. There's a big difference between 18-11 and 19-11. It may not sound like it, but you know, when you're up 19-11, Eric Hillgren has a lot less margin for error than he does at 18. If he needs to score 10 before Luis scores 2 or 10 before Luis scores 3, that can make a big difference. There's a big setup here. Let's see if he can take his time here. Pretty lucky there for Eric Hillgren to run that ball down the sidewall, and then Luis just ran it right back down that left sidewall.
19 serves 11.
A 19 serves 11.
Almost feels like we're at the World Championships here, Dave. We're just crowded into our booth. There's so many people trying to watch here at once.
Well, this is the marquee match of the day. Certainly in the eyes of the fans who want to watch this one. A nice shot right there from Luis Cordova, winning another point. I'm surprised Eric hasn't taken a timeout.
I like that shot a lot there. He noticed Eric behind him, and he used the right corner there, and he took a little bit off that ball, and that ball died before Eric had a play on it. Like that shot.
And Eric Hillgren, almost like he heard me, calls that timeout. It's 20-11. Luis Cordova.
Out at 20-11. I'm not sure what that does at this point. You know, I'm not a huge fan of calling timeouts, but it seems like at 20-11, maybe you can get in there and score just a couple of points. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's a good timeout.
You're watching the World Intercollegiate Four-Wall Handball Championships from Arizona State University. Beautiful campus in Tempe, Arizona. Alongside Dave Fink and Jeff Kastner, my name is Dave Vincent. Thank you for tuning in. Luis Cordova from UTEP, the University of Texas, El Paso, versus Mo State's Eric Hillgren from Springfield, Missouri.
Luis Cordova attending a Dave Chapman instructional camp just 2 months ago in Las Vegas in December.
And then Dave Chapman visited El Paso and got to see him again. And then a couple weeks later, back on the court one more time with Dave Chapman at the World Junior Handball Championships, where Dave gave him a lot of free court time there.
Well, that was part of his entry fee.
Eric's going to go, no, he doesn't. I thought he would.
Very surprised by that shot. Now, that's where I'd like to see Eric move himself up into that front court and take that ball out of the air. There's a smart shot.
Back down the right side for Eric here. Nope, goes to the left. Eric's just trying to hit the ball hard right now.
Side out.
Both players missed a number of opportunities there in that rally. Eric finishes off with his
11
bread and butter.
serves 20.
11 serves 20. This game would actually be over if the referee would have called that crack serve.
These are all important factors. Now, how much energy will Luis Cordova have to expend from this point on to win this game? And he needs that energy for the tiebreaker, potentially. That's why I tell you, every point matters. He comes down to a tiebreaker at 9-9 or 10-10, and he doesn't have the...
Well, the same could be said for Eric
11.
Hillgren as well, though. I mean,
True.
He could expend a lot of energy and get up to 18 or 19, lose, and that could affect his tiebreaker as well.
That's a good point.
Game.
But that point is pretty much mute as Luis Cordova ends the second game and forces the tiebreaker with a beautiful right corner pinch kill. Takes that second game 21-11. Luis Cordova will serve first in the tiebreaker by virtue of scoring 4 more points combined in the first and second game. That's how we decide who serves the tiebreaker. Luis Cordova scoring 15 in a first game loss. Eric Hillgren scoring 11 in a second game loss. We'll come back in 5 minutes, and Luis Cordova from UTEP, the University of Texas in El Paso, will be serving to Eric Hillgren of Missouri State fame.
Okay, you stick around at WePlayHandball.com. For Dave Fink and Jeff Cass.